It's amazing how sometimes a whole universe of meaning can be packed into just one sentence. And today, we're going to unpack one of those verses, one that really challenges our understanding of time, reality, and the whole purpose of our existence. Let's get into it.
So, this is the verse we're diving into. And look, on the surface, it seems pretty straightforward, right? But the moment you start to look a little closer, you find these deep philosophical puzzles. A creation in 6 days, a throne on water, and a test for all of us. Each one of these is like a doorway to a much deeper understanding.
And right away, we hit our first big paradox. Think about it. If God's creative power is absolute, instantaneous, just be, and it is, then why did it take 6 days? It feels like a contradiction. Was there some kind of delay? This question is really the key that unlocks this whole investigation.
Well, it turns out the answer has less to do with the creator and a whole lot more to do with the creation itself. See, the 6 days aren't about measuring some kind of divine effort. They're actually describing the fundamental nature of our physical world.
I mean, just think about it for a second. Everything in our world unfolds. Nothing just is, it becomes. Time is this line, right? An extension from a beginning to an end. This is a world of process, of gradual existence. So for something to exist in our reality, in time, it has to unfold through time. The 6 days, that's the symbol for that whole gradual process.
And this, right here, brings us to one of the absolute biggest questions in all of philosophy. How does a timeless, eternal reality connect with a temporal, always changing one? How do you possibly bridge that gap between the creator and the created?
Okay, so to tackle this, philosophers give us two really important concepts. On one hand, you have the Qadim. That's the eternal. It's timeless, changeless, and on the other hand, you have the Hadith, the created. That's everything that exists in time with a start and a finish. Our whole universe, our reality, that's Hadith. They seem totally incompatible. So yeah, how on earth do these two connect? The key here is to stop thinking of creation as a one-and-done event. Instead, picture it as a continuous, unending flow. This eternal flow from the source, that's called fade, or emanation. And all the stuff we experience, every star, every thought, every single moment, those are the individual things that pop up out of that flow. They're called the mafad. So you see, the creative act itself is eternal, but what it makes is brand new, it's temporary. And just like that, you've bridged the two realities. It's pretty elegant, right?
All right, so we've kind of wrapped our heads around the 6 days. But now we get to the really mysterious part of the verse. And his throne was upon the water. I mean, what could that possibly mean? Okay, first things first, the arsh, or throne. And let's be clear, we're not talking about a physical chair here. In this context, it's the absolute highest level of existence. Think of it like the command center for the entire created universe. It's the ultimate reality of everything that's been made.
And then you've got ma, which is water. And literally, this is super simple, right? We all know water is the foundation for all biological life. No water, no plants, no animals, no us. Simple. But hold on. If the throne is the highest metaphysical thing, why would it be sitting on top of something so physical?
And that is the question that changes everything. If physical water is the source of physical life, then what's the source of spiritual life? What's the water that sustains our consciousness, our spirit, our very existence? This is where the verse just cracks wide open.
The answer, it seems, is that we have to look at water as something much more than just a physical liquid. We have to see it as the fundamental stuff of reality itself.
So in this much deeper reading, water is a metaphor for knowledge, for awareness, wisdom, consciousness itself. It's the very liquid of spiritual life. The whole idea is that without knowledge, existence is, it's meaningless. So knowledge becomes the true foundation of absolutely everything.
So now the verse completely transforms. That phrase, "and his throne was upon the water," isn't about furniture on a lake anymore. It becomes this powerful declaration. The highest state of existence is founded upon knowledge. The whole cosmos rests on a bedrock of consciousness.
The poet Rumi just nailed this idea. He's basically saying that the physical water we see, it's being moved by a deeper, more subtle water. And our own spirit, it's being called by a greater universal spirit. There's always a deeper reality moving the one we can see.
Okay, so let's pull this all together. Creation is gradual, its foundation is knowledge.
So what in the world does that have to do with the last part of the verse, the part about us being tested? This is where it all clicks and becomes really personal for you and me.
See, the test isn't about following some random set of rules. The test of life, when you look at it this way, is the journey to get that knowledge. We're put into this world of time and process specifically to find that true knowledge, that water of reality, because only with that knowledge can our actions ever become genuinely good or pure.
The Quran actually talks about something called the purest drink, or sharab and tahura. And metaphorically, this is that ultimate knowledge we've been talking about. It's like a drink that completely purifies your heart. But purifies you from what? From being attached to anything that isn't the ultimate truth. In other words, it sets you free.
So what we have here is a really clear spiritual path. Step 1, you really get it, that this world is temporary. It's a process, just like the 6 days of creation. Step 2, you go out and actively look for that water of true knowledge. And then step 3 and 4, that knowledge, once you really take it in, becomes that purest drink that shatters the chains of attachment to all the temporary stuff.
And let's be super clear about what this freedom actually is. This isn't about being poor or rejecting the world. Real poverty is being attached to things you don't even have. And true wealth, real freedom, is having everything you could ever want, but having zero interdependence on any of it. It's about liberating your inner self.
I love this quote. It just puts it so simply. Who is the real master? It's the one who sets you free. The whole point of a guide, a teacher, a spiritual path, it's not to tie you down with more rules. It's to liberate you from your own inner chains.
And this really is the core transformation we're talking about. The journey of life, then, isn't just about going through the motions of worship. It's about turning that worship into real, genuine knowing, what's called ma'rifah. Because at the end of the day, any action you take, if it's not built on that foundation of knowledge, is, well, it's just incomplete.
And there's this famous mystical saying that just ties a perfect bow on this whole idea. He who knows himself has known his Lord. That massive cosmic journey to understand reality, it actually begins with the much smaller, much more personal journey of knowing yourself. The universe outside reflects the universe inside.
So as we wrap this up, the verse kind of flips the whole question right back on us. If that purest drink of knowledge is what truly frees us, then we kind of have to ask ourselves, what are my attachments? You know, the attachments to ideas, to things, to who I think I am. How are they coloring the way I see reality? Yeah, that's definitely a thought worth sitting with.